You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And welcome to the postgame edition for Tuesday, June 12th, 2018. I'm Taylor Phillips along with Louis Tenore. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Also listen to our podcast here on Spreaker, also on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcast via iTunes. Man, another much-needed loss. And now, let's get to the recap. Let's get to the breaking news first.
That one is long gone!
In the 6-4 loss, Miguel Cabrera left the game with in the third inning with a left tendon strain after fouling a pitch off of his arm. And now I hear from Jeff Moss of the Detroit Sports Rag via Jeff Rieger of 97 Won the Ticket on Twitter. Jeff Moss at Detroit Sports at Dead Sports Rag and Jeff Rieger at Rieger 1984. Miguel Cabrera done for the season, ruptured bicep, needs surgery. Jeff Moss says, "Oh well." So Miguel Cabrera is done for the season. Thank God.
I love it!
Miguel Cabrera's days are probably numbered too, so there goes that. Tigers may be even better off without Miguel Cabrera anyway. There's still going to be a failure one way or the other. Especially with their manager, Ron Garbage Fire. And, of course, their owner, Chris Ilitch, who also deserves that fate tonight. Those two fates tonight. Miguel Cabrera's injury status fate and the Tigers losing 6-4 to the Minnesota Twins, who now jump the Tigers for second place in the American League Comedy Central standings. Twins are 29-34. Second place, 5.5 games back in the AL Comedy Central, the Cleveland Indians. The Indians and Rays won, so the Tigers are now 5 spots back in the wild card spot. Back from the wild card spots. Tigers 31-37, now third place, 6 games back of the Tribe. So this is the tanking continuing on. So Miguel Cabrera is done for the season, and the Tigers keep losing to their American League Central Division rivals. First the Indians and now the Twins. after losing 2 of 3 to the Boston Red Sox, salvaging that finale at Fenway last week. But Tigers fans everywhere still really upset about Louis Coleman giving up that grand slam to Ehire Adrianza. In the 7th inning.
Oh, man!
After a pitcher's duel, Jake Odorizzi, the Skunk, and Blaine Hardy each giving up 2 earned runs. So there's actually no MRI tomorrow because this just ended. Miguel Cabrera is now done for the season with a ruptured bicep, a ruptured left bicep tendon, which needs major surgery perhaps. This just in from Jeff Moss on Twitter at DeadSportsRag. It would be a real shame if Miguel Cabrera's season-ending injury caused attendance to plummet. Fox Sports Detroit ratings going down and people to tune out from 97.1. The Ticket in Southfield. Yeah, everybody in that whole population in the greater Detroit area deserves those fates. Because this population is so addicted to still so addicted to Miguel Cabrera. Man. Yeah, I mean, the Miguel Cabrera age is over. He's aging and he's injury prone. And to chop the cherry on the Sunday, he's out for the season. Ruptured bicep tendon in his left arm. Those Miguel Cabrera days are over. Wake up, people. It's time for a new age in Tigers baseball. It's gonna be a failure for a long. It's still gonna be a failure for another long time, for an even longer extended time, until Chris Ilitch sells the Tigers, and he deserves the failure that his father suffered as an owner of the Tigers, even though he won 4 Stanley Cups in his lifetime with the Red Wings. Tomorrow night at 7:10, Matt Boyd will be on the mound, 4-4, 3.20 ERA, and a 1.09 WHIP against Matt Berrios, 7-5, 3.66 ERA, and a 0.92 WHIP. So we're going to look at a pitcher's duel on MLB.com's Game Day server. But speaking of Jeff Moss, he also went after Helene St. James. One of the Red Wings beat writers at the Detroit Free Press, for writing an asinine article in which its body reads, Arizona Coyotes defenseman Jakob Chychrun is quote-unquote prone to errors.
Are you out of your mind?
Moss tweeted at DeadSportsRag, the Detroit Free Press and Helene St. James are nothing more than the mouthpiece for the Detroit Red Wings. This is embarrassing even for that atrocious pair. Chychrun has played 2 years in the NHL. Cholowski, Red Wings prospect defenseman Dennis Cholowski, that is, couldn't crack an AHL roster 2 months ago. He could not even nearly make it to the Grand Rapids Griffins, for Christ's sakes. And Chychrun has actually produced at least a few. He's produced at least several points per season for the Arizona Coyotes ever since that trade back in 2016 involving Pavel Datsyuk in exchange for Cholowski. But this is why the mainstream media is awful. They underestimate Jakob Chychrun. This is at least they don't mention Dennis Cholowski much, but they keep degrading young players, young future stars like Jakob Chychrun. I'm not saying he should become an all-star. No, but is he prone to errors? No, absolutely not. He's clearly not prone to errors. He's clearly more consistent than that as a defenseman in the NHL. Yep, there's the ESPN following up from sources that Miguel Cabrera has done for the season with a ruptured biceps tendon in his left arm. But Jakob Chychrun being downgraded by the Detroit media. The Detroit media deserves even worse pants than that. How about a 5-fingered bleep punch? I don't want to go too far. Helene St. and the Detroit Free Press and the entire Detroit mainstream media can second deck. But that's why this podcast backs up Jeff Moss of the Detroit Sports Rag. The Michigan Sports Truth backs it up. Jakob Chychrun, again, produces more points per season in the NHL in 2 seasons than Dennis Cholowski. 0, because he could hardly make an AHL team. Not even the Grand Rapids Griffins or any AHL team. Cholowski is an extreme disgrace. Jakob Chychrun is a decent defenseman for the Arizona Coyotes, and Ken Holland traded it away 2 years ago. Two years ago. It's ridiculous. Helene St. James is a bitch. A bitch. A stupid bitch. People like her deserve to be fired if there were bosses that were not so loyal and meant more business than loyalty. But then again, that's just Detroit. so over freaking loyal. Even though Mike Valeni of 97 won the ticket is clearly a coward, a chicken, may I add, he is right on one thing. Detroit is so overly loyal to, as a population, to one another. They just keep carelessly hugging and kissing and this and that. Bunch of slaps, bunch of arrogant fans, media, players, owners, GMs, coaches, managers, this and that. It's just baffling. It just never gets any better. Just the Detroit media. The city of Detroit will never get better unless there's a new mayor, unless there's a new president of the United States. Even though more of our roads need paving. So that's going to do it for all my truth for tonight. Now,
it's now time for the National Sports Report with Louis Tenore.
Take it away.
Okay, and away we go. We'll start with the baseball scores as usual, and it goes like this: the Yankees shut out the Nationals 3-0. Sabathia got the win, Rourke got the loss, and Chapman got the save. I have also a statistic on Sabathia coming up in a little bit. The Red Sox over the Orioles 6-4. Orioles are still the other ones that need to be sold. Oh boy. White Sox over the Indians 5-1. Shields got the win. Plinko got the loss, and Soria got the save. Final in 10. Reds over the Royals 5-1. Hernandez got the win, and McCarthy got the loss. Top of the fourth right now. The Diamondbacks are all over the Pirates 8-0. Runners on first and third, one out. Buchholz is pitching, and Polanco is at bat. Bottom four. The Astros lead the Athletics 4-2. 2 out with runners on first and second. McCullers Jr. is pitching, and Piscotty is at bat. Going into the top of the fourth, the Mariners lead the Angels 1-0. Rapalwina is due up, so is Cozart and Fernandez. Top of the fourth, the Dodgers lead the Rangers 4-2. Ferguson is pitching in. Charios is at bat. Finals, Phillies over the Rockies 5-4. Nola got the win. Gray got the loss, and Dominiquez got the save. As we mentioned, Twins over the Tigers 6-4. Presley got the win. Coleman got the loss, and Rodney got the save.
At least they still have VMart. Well, they can shove that you-know-where.
Right.
He's aging too. And not getting any better.
Yeah, neither are the Mets. Marlins over the Giants 3-1. Richards got the win. Stratton got the loss, and Barno got the save. Rays over the Blue Jays. 4-1. Pruitt got the win. Garcia got the loss, and Romo got the save. Braves beat up on the Mets 8-2. Cart got the win, and Wheeler got the loss. He is having a pathetic year. Ugh. Brewers playing the Cubs 4-2. Anderson got the win, and Chatwood got the loss. And finally, Padres double up on the Cardinals 4-2. Simmer got the win. Mikolas got the loss, and Hand got the save. All right, now let's check the standings, and they go like this. And, of course, we'll start off in the American League East as we normally do. And it's still, of course, a battle in the American League East between the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Yankees are 43-19 and have it's a virtual tie again, as the Red Sox are 46-22, but the Yankees lead by a wide margin of percentage points, 694-676. The rest are all in a cellar dweller state. Rays are 31-35, 14 back. Blue Jays 15.5 back at 30-37, and the Orioles, who should be hanging with the golf course right about now, are 19-47 and 26 back. Just pathetic. In the Central, Indians are 35-30, 5-game lead with the Twins at 29-34. Tigers 5.5 back at 31-37. White Sox 23-42, 12 back, and the Royals 22-45, 14 back. Speaking of teams, they'll never get better. All right, in the West, Mariners are 42-24, but right behind them are the Astros at 42-25, pending outcome of this game. Angels 37-30, 5.5 back. Athletics 8 back at 34-32, decent, and the Rangers bring up the rear at 27-41, 16 back. All right, National League. The Braves are 38-28, have a one-game lead over the Nationals, 36-28. Phillies not that far behind either at 3 back at 34-30. The Mets are 8.5 back at 28-35, and the Marlins are 25-42, 13.5 back. All right, in the Central, Brewers are 40-27, thanks to the win. The Cubs are at half game back at 38-26. Cardinals not that far behind at 36-29, 3 back. Pirates are 32-34, 7.5 back, and the Reds 24-43, 16 back. They're going nowhere. In the West, in a fairly closely division, D-backs are 36-29, have a 3-game lead over the Dodgers at 33-32. Giants are 4 back at 33-34. Rockies are 4.5 back at 32-34. And the Padres, 32-37, 6 back. Even though that's 5 below, it doesn't look as bad as most people. And it's really not. All right, so let's check the schedule for tomorrow. And of course, being it's Wednesday, there's sure to be day games abound. I'm sure I'm going to find some. And the schedule reads down like this. Leading off at 12:10, the Mets will take on the Braves. 1:10, the Blue Jays take on the Rays. 2:10, the Cubs take on the Brewers. 3:05, Red Sox take on the Orioles. 3:40, Pirates take on the D-backs. 4:10, Angels take on the Mariners. Night games are Nationals versus the Yankees at 7. 7:05 is the Rockies versus the Phillies. 7:10 games. Twins take on your Detroit Tigers. Also 7:10, the Giants take on the Marlins. 8:10, Indians take on the White Sox. 8:15 games are the Reds versus the Royals. And the Padres taking on the Cardinals. Late games are as follows. 10:05, the Astros take on the Athletics, and the Rangers at 10:05, and the Rangers take on the Dodgers at 10:10. Right. So now we'll jump over to WNBA as there's action tonight, and it reads like this. Leading off right now, again in progress, The Sky is beating up on the Storm, 70-58. That's Chicago Sky versus the Seattle Storm. For those who are not familiar. The Las Vegas Aces over the Indiana Fever, 101-92 in overtime. The Phoenix Mercury over the Dallas Wings, 75-72. And the Atlanta Dream, the LA Sparks are leading the Atlanta Dream, which is giving them a nightmare, 43-32 at the half. Giving them a nightmare. Yeah, you get the point. We also had a women's friendly soccer this evening, the U.S. versus China, and the U.S. took it 2-1 over China. Very nice. All right, so let's see if there's, I believe there's action tomorrow in the WNBA. Just to check that. Yes, there is. And it reads like this. The Washington Mystics will take on the Connecticut Sun at 7. Also at 7, the Las Vegas Aces will take on the New York Liberty. And believe me, they can go there, help they can get. I got some MLS action for tomorrow, and it reads like this. 7:30 games. The Columbus Crew taking on Atlanta United at 7:30. Also 7:30, the Montreal Impact take on Orlando. 8 o'clock, Red Bulls take on the Seattle Sounders. Go Red Bulls. Also 8 o'clock, Toronto takes on the DC United, one of the original teams in the league. 9 o'clock, the Colorado Rapids take on the Chicago Fire. I don't mean the TV show. And at 10:30, the nightcap, San Jose Earthquakes take on the New England Revolution. All right, so now let's get to some news items of the day. I have some baseball news to give first before we go to the rest of it. Washington Nationals star player Bryce Harper left tonight's game after losing the Yankees, and he was after being hit on the left foot by a pitch in the 8th inning. Harper was hit by Besetness with an 89 miles per hour slider with no outs in the top of the inning. After taking a few steps toward first base, Bryce trotted back to the dugout and did not return to the game. He was replaced by Brian Goodwin. That could be a problem. He's one of the best players on that team. Manager Dave Martinez said Harper left the game for precautionary reasons, and he should be back in the lineup for tomorrow. Earlier Tuesday, Harper was hit on his right elbow with a 90-mile-an-hour pitch from CC Sabathia in the 5th inning and fell to the ground. Since May 1st, Harper walked in the first 2 play appearances. Tonight, he is batting .215 since May 1st, dropping his average to .228. So that's a little shaky right there. All right, got a little bit more information here with concerning the Yankees. And it's okay. And CC Sabathia struck out Nationals Michael A. Taylor in the 4th inning tonight. The veteran left-hander picked up his 1,500th strikeout of his Yankees career. So we have a milestone for the Yankees as they continue this fantastic year that they've had so far. Continue on. Aaron Boone said the Yankees had not finalized things yet, but it looks like they will call Jonathan Lagosa to replace Tanaka. He'll pitch Thursday, and Domenico German will pitch on Friday. Tanaka's going to be out for quite a while. Not for nothing, but that guy doesn't give me a lot of confidence anyway. I don't really. I'm not crazy about him, and I never was. All right. Moving on, the LA Rams were ordered to pay former NFL running back Reggie Bush $12.5 million in damages today for a knee injury he suffered in a game in 2015. That, according to the St. Louis Dispatch. Bush was playing for the 49ers at the time when he ran out of bounds On a punt return in the game on November 1st of that year, he slipped on concrete and suffered a torn lateral meniscus that ended his season. Bush filed the suit in 2016, alleging the Rams and the public stadium authorities allowed a dangerous condition to exist at the Dome. Bush called the arena where he fell on concrete a ring of death. Oof. The ring of death. Now, I've heard everything.
Yikes.
Yeah. All right. Oakland Raiders cut Christian Hackenberg. That means that they will not be sending a 2019 draft pick to the Jets after all. As a Jets fan, I don't know what to think of as good news or bad news. Hackenberg was cut from the 90-man roster today, just 3 weeks after acquiring the backup quarterback for a 7th-round draft pick for 2019. New Raiders coach John Gruden liked what he saw in the former Penn State quarterback when he appeared on the ESPN-produced Gruden's quarterback camp in 2016. The move to acquire Hackenberg amounted to an extended tryout with no strings attached. Raiders attend minicamp with Derek Carr, Connor Cook, and E.J. Manuel as their top 3 starting quarterbacks. Oh boy. Yeah, Hackenberg wasn't any good anyway. What can I say? Alright, Colts quarterback Andrew Luck threw a football in front of the media today, first time since last October. Luck had surgery on his right shoulder in January 2017. He jogged from the team's practice facility out to the field for about 10 minutes. After the start of practice, he also threw a Wilson TDS football, which is about high school size, during drills, under the watchful eye of Coach Frank Resch before heading back to the training facility. Luck made 20 of 25 throws, and he says he's ready to play in week 1 of the regular season. Yeah, let's see how training camp goes first before you make that assumption, pal. Shoot.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I had a great day. I'm ready. Yeah, we'll see.
Boy, you and I are ready for action tonight, huh?
Yeah, well, when I hear something suspicious like, oh, because you had one good day, you think, yeah, I'm not convinced by that. It takes more than one outing, for that. Anywho, Arizona Cardinals running back David Johnson skips mandatory minicamp in hopes of getting a new contract. League sources told ESPN today both sides have been in discussions with regarding a new contract and hopes a new deal can be reached before the start of the season. I hope so too. Johnson is heading towards the final year of his rookie deal and is scheduled to make $19 million and change this season, according to ESPN stats information. The Cardinals can tag him as a franchise player in 2019 and 2020. All right, the Toronto Raptors promoted assistant coach Nick Nurse, is there a doctor in the house, to head coach. Final details on a contract will be released soon. Nurse replaces Dwayne Casey, who is now coach of the Pistons. Nurse has not had any head coaching experience in the NBA, but he has had 6 years coaching experience in the G League, where he won 2 national championship titles and was named coach of the year in the G League. You got a nurse? How about a doctor? Okay. Very tragic story, though, here. As Olympic skier Bodie Miller's 19-month-old daughter drowned in a swimming pool over the weekend, authorities said yesterday. His daughter died on Sunday in an Orange County hospital, the day after paramedics had unsuccessfully tried to revive her after the incident. The death was under investigation, Orange County Sheriff's spokesman Terry Braun said. Paramedics were called to the home just before 6:30 p.m. on Saturday night. They tried unsuccessfully to revive the girl and rushed her to the emergency room. Captain Tony Marmoretto said there was no pulse the whole way. It did not end well. Miller, who has 3 other children, asked for privacy for the family in an Instagram post. And is very tragic news to hear. Okay. On to more brighter news here. Warriors general manager expects smooth negotiations to re-sign Kevin Durant and head coach Steve Kerr. And Durant could sign up to 4 years, $160 million. Myers is prepared to give him what he wants. Durant said all along he wants to stay where he is, especially after winning a pair of championships in his first 2 seasons with the Warriors. Coach Kerr has 1 year remaining left on his contract, so he'll receive a multi-year extension. Kerr wants to remain with the team, with the Warriors, as long as possible, perhaps another 10 years, if he can. Doesn't see, if he can. He does not see any difficulty in getting the deal worked out. We want to get the deal done quickly, he said. I don't think there's much to it, according to General Manager Bob Myers. He said he wants to keep the core of 2-time defending champions intact while realizing the Warriors will be a good team without the presence as the group just swept the Cavaliers on Friday, which was to my surprise. Continuing on here. All right. Excuse me. In fact, while realizing it would be a young team without the same presence as the group, working to extend the contracts of Draymond Green and Klay Thompson are to be discussed as well, whenever that may be. All right. So now we'll just go back and check the scores of the games, and they read like this. And your games in still in progress are as follows. Excuse me. All right.
This is the post-game edition.
Okay, right now we have the
Come on.
Dodgers now leading the Raiders 7-2. 1 out with the runners on first and second. Claudio is pitching and Turner is at bat. Mariners lead the Angels 1-0, top of the 5th. 1 out. Leak is pitching and Kinsler is at bat. Going into the bottom of the 5th, the Astros are leading the Athletics 6-2. Fowler, Seaman, and Lowry are due up. Look at this now. The Diamondbacks are leading the Pirates now 8-6 with 1 out and runners on first and second.
Even as a Pirates fan, Urinating Tree is actually loving it.
Wow. Fowler is pitching and Murphy is at bat. It was 8-0 just a while ago, and now it's 8-6.
Oh, wow. The Pirates are catching up. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
How do you like that?
Things like that happen, don't they?
Yeah, but in just like 10 minutes?
Yeah, they don't have a rally object as far as I'm concerned.
I don't even think I even saw a rally monkey.
Or a rally goose. It's dead. The goose has failed again for the Tigers.
Yeah, the goose is cooked.
Yep. It never has helped.
Yeah, personally, I never saw the reason for having rally objects.
Yeah, just because a goose ran into a scoreboard, fans can dream off into Neverland with Peter Pan and Wendy, John and Michael, and some crap.
And Captain Schnook.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Captain Schmuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and to finish up some WNBA here, we have a tie right now between the Sky and the Storm.
Or Shmee, rather.
Shmee.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. In WNBA, the Sky and the Storm now lead the Sky 77-75, 6:26 to go in the fourth quarter, and the LA Sparks are leading the Atlanta Dream at the half, 43-32. All right. That concludes my notes for the evening. I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Before we sign off, I want to remind everyone to share this episode and our entire podcast on social media and have their friends share that as well, because the Michigan Sports Truth is searching for a wider audience that is fans of sports, especially our teams in the state of Michigan, including the Tigers and the Red Wings. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth podcast on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts via iTunes, its Facebook page, and its Twitter handle at Michigan_Truth. For Louis Tenore, I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips personally. Ed Smith and I will probably have a midweek edition, episode 9, coming up Wednesday at midnight. Thanks very much for listening, downloading, and sharing TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Good night, folks.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And mission complete.